Hello everyone, my name is Tim and I'm one of the security experts here at Proactive Security, where your safety and peace of mind is our business. I'm here today to talk to you guys about frames per second, or FPS for short. FPS is very important to a security system. In a nutshell, it informs you how many times per second it will capture an image. The more frames it captures per second, the smoother the playback will be. There's a huge misconception that your security system needs to capture at 30 frames per second to be any good. Now, everyone thinks that if you don't get 30 frames per second on your security camera footage, it's going to look like the bank robbery footage from the 90s where the person's just stuttering across the screen. This couldn't be further from the truth. You can actually get full motion video at only 7 frames per second. Now here at Proactive Security, we recommend actually 15 frames per second because it's nearly indistinguishable compared to 30 frames per second, and it literally doubles your storage time. Now here is some demonstration of actual frames per second. Now we basically set up several cameras right next to each other and programmed them to capture at different frame rates so you can see the literal difference side by side. So the testing method here is I set up 4 cameras side by side recording at different frame rates, and you can see the frame rate there at the top of the screen. The first test here, I actually walk towards the cameras. Now you're not going to notice a huge difference between, let's say 25 and 15 frames per second, and even 10 frames per second looks pretty decent. You'll see a giant difference at 5 frames per second. And whenever you're walking towards a camera like this, again, you're not going to see a giant difference. It's not really until the next test where I'm walking across from the camera's field of view that you'll notice a big difference. Okay, so here's the second batch of tests. Again, I'm walking across the camera's field of view there. So there's 25 frames per second. This is 15 frames per second. This is what we recommend recording at because it does save you a lot of archive time and it doesn't look that much different than 25. Here's 10. You can kind of start see that it's a little jaggy as I'm moving, and again, that'll be accentuated as the object is moving faster. And then here's 5 frames per second. Very, very jaggedy. Okay, and our next test, this is 25 frames per second, and this is cars. And these cars are going, I'd say, about 20 miles per hour. Okay, and then here we go with 15 frames per second. Again, not a huge difference between 25 and 15. You're not going to really see a big difference until you go down to like the 10 or 5 frames per second. This is 10. You can start seeing the jaggedy movements here, where it kind of seems like the car's warping a little bit as it's going down the street. And then lastly coming up is the 5 frames per second. Here we go. You can see how jaggedy the movements are there in comparison to, like, let's say the 15 or 25 frames per second where it's really, really smooth. Anyone can sell you cameras, so why choose Proactive Security cameras? It's simple. We've been securing your homes and businesses for nearly 30 years, which proves that we do not abandon our customers after a sale. We've held an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau since 1999. Now, we also offer an industry-leading warranty, free shipping, free system designs and consultations, along with free US-based technical support on every purchase. I invite you to be proactive about your security.